The lonely ranch house stood in silence, its once lively halls now filled with the soft, desperate cries of a hungry baby. Caleb, a strong rancher with weathered hands and a broken heart, sat in the wooden rocker by the fireplace, clutching his newborn son to his chest. His wife, Mary, had passed only a week after giving birth, leaving him with grief so deep it felt like a canyon inside him. He tried everything: warm milk, sugar water, even spoon-feeding mashed bread, but the child turned away, wailing louder with every passing hour. Caleb's rough hands trembled as he pressed the baby close, whispering prayers he wasn't even sure God still listened to. His ranch felt colder, the land heavier, and the silence unbearable, broken only by the baby's cries. It was near sundown when a soft knock echoed on the door. Startled, Caleb shifted the baby in one arm and opened it. There stood a woman wrapped in a faded shawl, her cheeks flushed from the autumn wind. She looked weary, her dress patched from travel, but her eyes carried a gentleness that made Caleb pause. "I heard the baby crying from the road," she said softly, lowering her gaze. I have milk to give. My own child, he didn't survive. But I can still feed." Her voice cracked, but she steadied herself. Caleb's throat tightened. He looked at her, then at his starving son, whose small fists curled as he cried harder. For a moment, pride and grief battled inside the rancher, but desperation won. He stepped aside. The woman entered, cradling the baby like she had done it 1,000 times. She sat in the rocker, loosened her shawl, and guided the child to her breast. Almost instantly, the cries faded into soft, eager gulps. Caleb stood frozen, watching the little boy's body relax against her warmth. Tears burned behind his eyes, ones he refused to shed in front of a stranger. The woman hummed softly, rocking the child with a tenderness that filled the hollow ache in the room. For the first time in days, peace returned to the ranch. Her name was Anna. She was a widow, traveling on foot after losing both husband and child to fever. With nowhere left to go, she had been wandering, seeking shelter in barns and churchyards. Caleb listened quietly as she told her story, his heart heavy with the weight of his own. Two broken souls sat across from each other that night, bound by sorrow but united by the fragile life in their arms. Anna stayed the night by the baby's side, feeding him when he stirred, rocking him when he whimpered. Caleb, for the first time since Mary's passing, slept without the crushing fear that his child might not make it till morning. Days turned into weeks. Anna became the gentle rhythm of the house, her hands sewing, her voice singing, her presence steady. She asked for nothing, yet gave everything. The baby began to thrive, his cheeks filling out, his cries replaced with coos of contentment. Caleb found himself drawn to her quiet strength. She worked alongside him, mending fences, cooking meals, tending to the animals with the same dedication she gave the baby. At night, they would sit by the fire, sometimes speaking, sometimes just sharing the silence that no longer felt empty. One evening, as the baby slept peacefully in Anna's arms, Caleb finally spoke the words that had been pressing against his chest. "Anna, this house was falling apart without you. I was falling apart. You've given life back to my boy, and to me." She looked at him, eyes shining with unshed tears, and for a long moment, neither spoke. Then Caleb reached over, his calloused hand covering hers. "You don't have to wander anymore. Stay. Be his mother, and my partner." Anna's lips trembled, but a soft smile broke through. She nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. "I think I was meant to knock on this door." And so, the ranch that had nearly drowned in grief found new life. The hungry baby grew strong, the rancher's heart healed, and the woman who arrived with full breasts and an empty soul found a family that made her whole again.